Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Love Your Life show. It's me, Beverley Buckley, and I'm really, really excited to bring Barbara Bennett on today. We've had a little bit of a technical this morning, so it's been a really fun one for both of us. And I'm just saying how much I absolutely love technology. It's so wonderful, isn't it? I love it, I love it, I love it. So today with Barbara, we are going to be speaking about twin flames and connecting with your twin flame and also recognizing the reflection of yourself through your twin flame. Without further ado, I'd like to just bring in a little bit about Barbara and who she is and what she's done and all the amazing things about her. She's a registered psychotherapist. Just rewind there. Registered psychotherapist, emotionally focused couples therapist, a transformational life coach. And she also works with individuals, couples, and families to support them in overcoming the challenges that are preventing them from leading their most joyous and abundant lives. She channels and shares the energies from the angelic realms, unconditionally loving and guiding her clients through their challenging experiences to a reality of joy, peace, and love. And I'd like to bring on Barbara Bennett. Here we are. Say hello. You can say hello.
Hi, everybody. Great to be here. Pleasure and an honor again.
Yay! Amazing. Okay, so we have Katie on the call with us, so we can say hi to Katie and hello to anyone else who is joining us at this moment. So it's great to have you playing with us today, Katie. And I think if there's anybody else who wants to give a shout out, you're welcome to give us a shout out in the chat. You're also welcome to ask any questions that you have of Barbara in the chat. We are going to be going into quite a bit with twin flames. Was actually Barbara was saying to me, okay, well, we can talk about lots of different things. This, and I said twin flames. Let's do twin flames. So she's like, okay, let's play with this. So Barbara, what is your connection with the twin flame information, and what is your thoughts on like the whole idea of having a twin flame? I know people have spoken about soulmates and those kind of things. What is the difference between a soulmate and a twin flame? Are they the same thing, or how does it all work? What is your perspective on it?
Well, I'm not really very clear about that specifically, actually. I think I've heard that, I'm so sorry. I don't have clarity on the difference between that. I sort of see them as one and the same thing, soulmates, twin flames. They're energies of people that come into our lives to, I think they're familiar energies that come into our life to, we need to learn to bring us the energies that we need to experience that will transform us back to love. I don't know how that fits. What do you think?
So I think we've got a bit of a slow going on here. I think we're going to just be patient with technology today, because it seems to be that I think it's full moon time. So it's going. So what was the last thing you mentioned there? I lost you completely. It completely bombed out. You did ask me something.
Well, I was saying that I think that these energies are they're familiar energies to us, and the people that embody these energies, I think we have contracts with them to come in, to join, to connect us, especially with them, to bring each other the lessons that we need that will trigger us to bring us back to love.
So what you also kind of saying is that it doesn't really matter how you define it. It's all the same thing, and it's all just meant to bring you back to love. Yes.
Yes, and they're connections with people that that are familiar. I think we're meant to connect with these people, with these energies, for specific reasons. Like attracting the right person to bring up the right things in me. I think, you know, the reasons that these energies come into us are to return us to love, whatever that may mean. But I think the interesting thing is you know, are we searching for them? Do you know, like, you know, what meaning do we give them? What do you think?
So kind of like, so in a way, when we have this label of twin flame, I'm looking for my soulmate, I'm looking for my twin flame. Oh, this person really felt like they were my twin flame, but now they're not there anymore. Oh, I felt like I've lost a piece of myself, because it's kind of a way of projecting who we really are into someone else and thinking that they are going to give us, as opposed to using them as an awareness of, oh, this is us. Yeah? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So I think the thing is if we're searching for this energy, what are we believing? Like, we're believing that we're not it, right? We're believing that it's outside of us and that we need it. So is that the energies that we're searching for are outside of us? What do you think when people are searching for their twin flames? What do you think that they're searching for?
Well, if I feel into that, it feels like they're searching for a connection to something or to someone. They're feeling like they're disconnected. So this idea of having, oh, my twin flame or my soul group or my soul this or my soul that, makes them feel like, you see, and there's another point to it, because it's like it can come from two spaces. It can come from the space of lack, or it can come from the space of expanding into more of myself. You know, does that make sense?
Yes. So if we're searching for it, then that's probably a lack, because we've decided that it's not in us and someone else is going to provide it for us. So the belief is I'm not that and I need someone else to provide it for me. So that's so all of these things are not true. So whatever it is, we're looking for someone to provide for us happiness, joy, love, fulfillment, safety. Those are energies we actually need to give ourselves. The old adage is, as within, so without. I don't believe that I have these things within me, then I will start searching for them externally, but all I will ever get mirrored back to me is the lack of them. So I actually have to be these energies and give these energies to myself if I want to see it reflected to me in my world. So whatever it is I think I'm searching for outside of myself are energies that I need to give myself. That's the clue. So I think, okay, well, you know, love. I'm searching for that kind of loving fulfillment. That is something I'm not giving myself. And what do I need to do to be more loving and to connect more fully with God, with my higher self, with the energies that I pull in, that I am. I am that. And then once we, but a lot of these things, the issue is that, and these things run unconsciously. and to our relationships, and our relationships help us heal and bring them back to love. So sometimes we need help with the hurts and the wounds that are causing us to create more of them. Does that make sense? Or
yes, that does. That it's kind of like it's when you come into a it's almost as if every person is your soulmate and every person is your twin flame, because every person is reflecting back to you the beliefs of lack that you have about yourself, and every person is also reflecting back to you the expansive beingness and totalness that you are of yourself.
Right. That's exactly right. Now, I mean, one of the core issues that we sort of all have is our separation from God. That kind of core abandonment, wounding, deep on the deepest level of our soul. That's one of the things that we sort of act out. So we're searching to fill where we feel we've been separated from God. The thing is we have never been abandoned, and that's what we need to, I guess, remember or come back to, or is that I'm always connected. I'm always supported. I'm always loved. I am loved. And to bring myself back to that, if I can continue to tell myself and embody those energies, then I won't continue to create relationships where people continue to abandon me and reflect back to me my belief, or that sort of core belief that I have in abandonment. Abandonment is one of them. Worthiness. A lot of times, the relationship we have with our primary caretaker, say a mother, or available as a baby, the baby can develop what is called an insecure attachment or an anxious attachment, and so as adults, then when they feel their partner pulling away, they get anxious. It's actually hardwired into the amygdala of the brain, and this anxiety gets created, and there's no consciousness around why it's happening. I think, I mean, the sort of the need and the search for love and fulfillment is an indication that we need to be coming back to ourselves and trying to be that for ourselves first. But it's hard because, he says, well, how do I do that?
And you know what also makes sense with that is, as you're speaking, it's just a little awareness triggered in me is, I'm going to speak about a little bit of a personal story. My real father, obviously my parents, my real father and my mother got divorced when I was 4 years old. So obviously there wasn't a bit of an abandonment thing that went on there, but it's almost been something that has been happening or processing throughout my life. But in the last 2 months or so, I had a recognition of the it hasn't, the emotion hasn't risen there yet, but I know that it's there because I have an awareness of it. And it's almost like there's a grieving and a real sadness, which I wasn't allowed to feel when I was young, because
Yes.
my father, which I think is also sometimes linked to the God and the separation from God, it was like not allowed. I wasn't allowed to love him. I wasn't allowed to love him because he was a bad man, because he did bad things. So he's not, the belief system of he's not lovable, even though I did love him, I had to suppress that emotion. So what happens, I think, is we get told that we suppress anger and all of those things. But what if anger is just sitting above the love that we've suppressed? And the grieving is sitting above the love that we've suppressed. And it's almost as if I wasn't allowed to love him the way that I did love him, because he was my father. He was my father. Every child loves their father, right? So the whole abandonment thing wasn't necessarily he abandoned me, but I abandoned my love for him and suppressed it, which then built up the sadness and the grieving which needs to be processed. So the anger and rage, I've done a lot of that. But it's almost like the grieving thing feels a bit really sore. And then it's moving into then the love space of the true love that I do feel for him, and all the belief systems that have compacted this emotion of grieving above this love space. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Does that make?
Yes. So so there's a part of you that is has been holding on to this and has been holding on to the grief and the loss. And then there's this sort of divine part of yourself that can be almost the parent for that part. So what could that part of yourself say to that little girl? What sorts of things could she say? If you were her mother, 30.
If I feel into, your feelings aren't wrong, your feelings aren't bad.
Right.
You weren't wrong. You weren't wrong in the love that you felt. You weren't wrong. You aren't wrong in the love that you feel. You aren't wrong in the wanting to connect that you feel. You aren't wrong in the forgiveness that you desire to give. Because there's almost this, I have this awareness of this belief system that it's the kind of things that he did or the way that he behaved was not, if I love that or I love him in terms of what he did, I'm sinning. I'm being a sinner, because I am saying that if I'm loving him, it's almost as if that's saying that that kind of behavior is okay. When actually the behavior is not necessarily okay or not okay, it doesn't matter. It's just the label that I'm giving that behavior and saying it's good or bad or right or wrong, and saying because I've given it this label of good or bad or right or wrong, then I'm going to respond in this way because that is the way that everyone says you should respond. Otherwise, you're going to go to hell because you are now consorting with the demonic energy of what that person is represent, like the bad things that they're doing. You are now saying that evil is okay because you are loving the person, and does that? I'm trying to put it into words, but
it's absolutely brilliant, and it's what children do. They make themselves wrong, and they make themselves responsible. And if I had have been better or more loving or had have done something different, he would have been different, and he wouldn't have left. And it's something that all children do, and we have to caution against it, but we also have to love and nurture that little girl. Let her know, because she's still inside you. And we have to let her know that exactly what you said. She did nothing wrong. Perfect and beautiful and loved wholly and unconditionally. I'm sorry, sweetie, that your dad left. And I'm sorry that, that you felt abandoned and that he wasn't there. But I will never abandon you. And I love you. And you're perfect. You're perfect. Wrong. You did absolutely nothing wrong. Do with you. So do you see how those little parts of us still how they need to hear those things? Those are the parts that need our love. And we have to into our higher self, our motherly self, maybe the divine mother, if that part of ourselves, to love and nurture ourselves, that end up creating every man I love leaves me. Or whatever, I'm not worthy of being loved because if I was, my father wouldn't have left. And those are beliefs that are not true, that we take on when we're little, tiny little, beautiful, and projecting them in our life. And sure enough, I fall in love with a man and he leaves, and then he leaves, and then he leaves. And then I think, me. And then I start to believe there's something. When there's not, there's nothing wrong. So all these beliefs on beliefs that were based on untruths. Them and unravel them. So all these relationships come in to show us, oh my goodness, what did I take on believing? To bring us back to the perfection of that little angel, to know she's completely worthy of love. Always connected to, she'll always keep her safe. She'll never be alone. Infinity and back for her. Know that she's safe and loved and adored and is perfect and beautiful exactly as she is.
Oh, wow. Do you know what? I just had an amazing awareness of that, is that, there's always this thing that we have with, I am the love that I seek. I am the source of the love that I seek. Although it's almost as if with the suppression of this love that I so wanted to give and to express, which wasn't okay to express this love, it's like the love of myself that I know that I am as source got stuck in there as well. Yes. So the love that I am, that I wasn't allowed to express, I thought that it's not okay to express that love because expressing that love is bad and wrong. So I must withhold that love and I must look for love from other places because this love, I didn't even know that it was there. It's so deep down that I didn't even recognize that it was there under this grieving and this, like, it's obviously layers of anger and rage and stuff that have been coming, and it's feeling like there's this grieving process that's gonna be coming when my energy is in that space to be able to hold myself with that. And I'm aware that it's not time yet, but I'm aware that I'm not choosing it just yet. I'm aware of that. And I'm aware that there's a few more pieces for me to be able to support myself more completely. This is the story maybe I'm telling myself, but this is what feels like it resonates. And it's almost like that love that I am, that I know that I give unconditionally, has been blocked there. And I can imagine that is what most children do as young children, because I mean, which child on this planet has not experienced the separation or abandonment in some form or way? And it's that unlocking of that.
Yeah. So
does that make sense?
That's why they call it remembering. Actually, in there, we've just separated and forgotten from it, or closed ourselves off from it, and slowly we remember the truth of our being. So if I said to you, you are little angelic baby, okay, and you came from your angelic self into your human self, and I hand you her. If you hold her, can you see, is there ever a question of being worthy of love?
No. Not at all.
Could she ever be responsible her by doing, there was something wrong? Can you see the beauty and perfection of her soul? The angelic part of it. That is the truth of you before it happening. That beautiful angelic innocence is the truth of your being. And closed off and covered up and buried, and she is you. She is your truth. Beautiful. And she is perfect. Perfect. You know, when we look at a baby's body, and you know, it's all round and squishy, and I mean, could we ever see anything wrong with the baby's body? It's perfect and beautiful in all its roles and curves. It's pure perfection. The truth of our being. Judgments afterwards, and we get cut off from that beauty, become the beliefs. We start taking on the beliefs, projecting those into the world. We end up projecting into our relationships. Relationship then is back to remembering, oh my God, I am this ball of perfect light and love. And how can I parts, because can you be that sort of divine mother, all those parts of yourself over the next little while? Like, be totally loving and compassionate, exactly the way I'm talking about you right now. Can you be that to those parts of yourself? All the mind stuff, all the, and saying exactly what a mother would say. I know, okay, to have those things, have your feelings and off, to be in the love that was. See, it's hard to be those, but we have to kind of step into that part of ourselves to be that for our other part. Seem doable? Does that seem possible?
Yes. Well, I think that's what you've given us here, I think, is a great way for us to look at those things or feel into those things that we perhaps feel not quite connected with. You know, it's almost as if numbed yourself from those feelings for so long. It's almost like, because love, like the love is such a strong kind of, it's so powerful. It's like a high voltage, if you want to put that kind of sense. And if you've kind of deadened the energy there for such a long time and you've cut off the energy, when you start trying to reconnect it again, it's almost like there's a fear of getting shocked, of getting like electrocuted, because you're not used to this kind of high loving frequency that you are, you know, that you are already. But there's a part of the mind that goes, oh, that's gonna electrocute me, that's gonna kill me, that's gonna annihilate me. Yes. I know that's just the human ego self speaking, but it's like what is coming is it's almost like being able to grasp and understand or be aware of what is going on, so that you can take yourself through it gently.
Yeah.
You know, if we were to turn on the full power of that, it's kind of like, oh! How would a person handle that? And also another thing you were speaking about with relationships, I can see the link between how the abandonment connects within your relationships that you create in your life. So like, for example, a romantic relationship or whatever you said, because you've had your father leaving you, then you'll create a story about how men leave you all the time.
Yes.
So,
you know,
doing the initial abandonment separation that was going on, so that no longer becomes an insecurity that and I'm just pulling this together out of thin air. Just tell me if I'm on the right track. But it's kind of like just that insecurity, because now you start to recognize the love that you are.
The truth is, the absolute truth is, separated from God, never been separated from love. I'm never alone. That's the truth. I'm believing anything else like an illusion. So we're trying to unravel the illusion of the separation and all the places we've bought into it. I think it's important what you said about too much love being overwhelming. Like, it's hard to that's why sometimes working with someone, like when I was talking to your little girl, did it sound right? Did she, is that what she needed to hear? Loving and compassionate way to know that she was perfect and she did nothing wrong, and I'm so sorry for her. Sorry, and it's all going to be okay. You know, and that's sometimes somebody else has to say that for us. We learn how to be that for ourselves, because we don't even know how to be loving and compassionate with ourselves. We've cut ourselves off so much. We have to relearn how to be beautiful, unconditional love to every hurt part of ourselves, and we don't even know how to do it.
Yes.
So I think a situation like this, where people can hear the truth and then they can almost model it, try and be more and more, and then heal all these parts of ourselves and return them to love, triggered anymore. There's always, you're sort of back into the knowing that I am completely fulfilled. there can't ever be loneliness. Like, loneliness is a belief. I'm on the belief that I'm separate and that I'm alone. And so I run around. Reflection of my life shows me I'm all by myself. To, oh my God, I'm never alone. Always supported. I know that. I know that in my heart. That's what will be reflected back to me. So that's where reality has us all messed up. Looking outside of ourselves when it's all got to start within. Sense? And it's on so many levels. It's it's in our brain, it's in our body, all these and beliefs and taken on that aren't true feel true. We believe them to be true. So it's that slow process of undoing all the beliefs. So if we come back then, so many people are yearning love. And so how do we say it's not outside you? Well, what are you talking about? And how do I love myself? And I haven't got a clue what my unconscious things are. To go about our life, as you say, every person is our twin flame and soulmate. What is being pushed and what content I have that each person in my life is showing me that to love. You know, it could be the driver that always cuts you off. And, you know, you go into that rage. And you know what? I had to work so hard on myself on, you know, when I could feel myself getting upset from being cut off or somebody be doing something really awful and rude to me and just telling myself, it's okay, you're okay. This is nothing to do with you, blah, blah, you know, calming myself down, giving myself the love I need, letting go, so that now, me in a car and I don't have anything left. And or the person at the phone store or the, you know, all these people that are like, each experience is showing us where our content is and feeling hurt or abandoned or lost and how can we then help ourselves? I mean, what comes up for you in that? Because you know, you were saying it's hard to that for myself to feel all that energy to even, I don't even know what that feels like, that unconditional motherly love.
Well, yeah. I think I have had experiences of the unconditional love experience, and on a daily basis I feel I love my life. I always feel in so much gratitude for my life. But it's almost as if the more you love yourself, the deeper you can go, and the more pain you can you can feel and hold yourself in a space of love while feeling that pain. And
yes.
and it's almost as if, like, I felt a lot of painful emotional experiences from the past, from my childhood, from past lives, from all of those kinds of lives, you know, and processed it and felt it and allowed myself to go through it. But it's almost the amount
Oh no.
Barbara, are you there? I think you lost
Yes,
me.
yes. Good, you're back. That's wonderful.
I don't know where you got me or where you lost me. I'm not sure.
You just after you started talking, actually, you froze.
Oh goodness, then that's a whole big story. Okay, well,
Oh no. Hold
are
on.
you still there? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Oh, good. Your face is frozen, but I could hear you.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? I can't hear you anymore.
What did you get? Can you hear me?
There, now I can hear you. Yes. I'm for a little bit and see what happens.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening.
Sure if she can see me or if you can see me.
I think we've lost our connection.